Okay, so this is my kidney saver mod for the Wolverine, the Yamaha Wolverine X2 X4. You have this plastic panel that needs to come off. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws that come inside the door that you have to remove. You have this stock bracketry. Originally there's a rod here, and that goes to this door latch. Now, this door latch is originally mounted vertically, and the striker obviously is mounted horizontally. So I wanted to do something that was reversible and, didn't require a whole lot of fabrication. Obviously, a lot of cutting was done. I had to fabricate a bracket. You see this black piece here at the top, right there. I had to fabricate that bracket. It goes behind the main original bracket. And basically, it relocates the door locking mechanism horizontally. Originally, it was vertically. You can see I cut off a tab here where it used to mount so I could put my new brace in. Originally I was going to try and reuse this rod to activate it, and you can see where I cut off the plastic here. But I could still do that, but it's going to require some more Filipino redneck engineering. Part of the problem is when you open the door, the rod goes forward, and if this was pulling down, that'd be great, but it goes up to open. So a solution to that would be to put a turnbuckle here, so when this goes forward it pushes this up. Or the passenger side door latch is a mirror image of this, so you could possibly put the passenger side door latch on if you're doing both sides. It's not a problem because you just swap them. But my wife is only 100 pounds, so she doesn't need this removed on the passenger side. So I'm just doing the driver's side. But the passenger side door latch, this mechanism would be in the bottom, and you could possibly make this rod work. You'd have to shorten it. But for right now, I'm not using it. This screw here, screw and bolt, isn't originally there. Obviously the rod goes in there. I replaced it with the rod and screw and put some silicone tubing, so it just goes up to open. So there's a better shot of it. So what I've done here is originally this striker was mounted horizontally. Here's the original hole here, and I've reused the bottom hole. I've just rotated it 90 degrees, cut off this tab because it's just to hold on the plastic and I don't need it over here. If I didn't want to revert this to original, I could have cut more metal here. But I wanted to preserve this bolt in case I wanted to revert back to stock. Obviously, I'd have to buy a new plastic piece here, a new inner plastic, and you wouldn't know the metal was missing because it's covered by plastic, and you can see how much extra clearance you get. That's a good 2.5 inches. If I were to remove this bolt hole, it'd be even more. But you can see, if you don't normally hit this shoulder bolster, you're probably not going to hit this either. For you big and tall fellas, you might want to go to the extreme and cut more off. Another fellow suggested that, we could re-drill a bolt hole here and eliminate this ear, which that'll give you even more clearance. But for me, with my muscle memory, I never hit this thing anyways. And that's an important statement to make. You know, everyone complains about this, including myself, but for us longtime owners, it's really not a problem if we're not in the big and tall category. Your muscle memory automatically gets you around this. But, you know, I did it because it just bothers me that some people, this is the main reason why they didn't buy the Wolverine, is this door latch. So, just to show you the metal that I cut. Here's the original metal that I cut. I just used an angle grinder cutter. And then I just covered it with wire loom. I guess I could find some automotive weather stripping trim to put on there so it looks more professional. But you should be used to the way my mods look because it's Filipino redneck engineering. So it's really solid. I mean, and here's another thing I want to make note of. Door rattling. We've been blaming the engineers for this rubber stop not being large enough. Well, it's really not their fault, it's our fault. This door latch has two positions. You'll see the first position flipped in, and there's a second position. Let me show you that again. First position, second position. Now, if you close your door, you notice in my last two videos, including this one, I've been slamming the door. Well, there's a reason for that. If you just close it lightly, see how it rattles? You think it's engaged all the way, but it hasn't. And the door rattles. And that's because it's only reached that first position. If you slam it, it reaches that second position, and your door doesn't rattle. This has nothing to do with my mod. This is just your doors. If your doors are rattling, eat some spinach and slam them harder shut, because they don't rattle and they engage your stopper properly when you close them with force. So back to my mod. Obviously, I can't use this original door latch, at least now. I'm pretty happy with just using this. It's easy enough to open from the outside. When I get inside, it's not that hard. So this will probably be another mod, but another thing I noticed is these doors, the Wolverine is pretty quiet, but I think it can be made quieter. And one thing I might do in the future is drill a hole in the doors and fill them up with expanding foam, because these are echo chambers. And especially in the back where the engine, I think you can get reverberation off of it. And putting some expanding foam inside. These doors, they're single molded, and you can't take the sides apart. So you have to, otherwise you could just put insulation in there. But expanding foam, I think, is a solution to get rid of some of that dead sound. Trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's it. But there you have it. There's my SaveAKidney mod. Once again, a significant portion of metal was removed, and the plastic's part of the equation too. But that's how much less it intrudes into your back with this mod. Okay, thanks a lot.